Hi everyone, it's Dawn Fisher. Welcome to my 65th FlossTube video. As always, thank you to everybody who subscribed, commented, and liked my channel. As always, links are posted in the below the description, the comments section. There's links to my email address and Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook page, my Instagram account, or Morning Glory Needleworks Instagram account, Stitch of the Month Facebook group, Buy Me a Coffee, the Morning Glory Needleworks Etsy shop, bio link, and anything else I can think of to add to it. So it's the 4th of September, and yes, I'm a little late again. So I'm going to give you a real quick life update, and then we'll move on to everything I need to talk about. So yes, I'm late. I have a few things going on, but other than that, I'm okay. Nothing major. And actually, after I finish this video, I'm going to be sending out class proposals for the openings I have for 2025, 2026, and anything else I can think of. And yes, we do schedule that far in advance. 2026, a lot of places are booking classes for 2026 right now. So I'm going to be sending out information on that. And if you're interested in having me teach for your guild or group, you can contact me using my email address, which is in the links. It's dawn@morninggloryneedleworks.com, and I would love to come teach for you, or I also teach over Zoom. So if you have a group and you don't have a lot of funds for a lot of expenses like flying me there, I will be happy to teach over Zoom. I've done it quite a few times. So last time I talked about showing you items that I found while I was unpacking, but I think I'm going to save those till the next FlossTube because I have some other fun things to talk about instead. And I want this to be kind of short because my last video was so long. So on to my fantastic flea market finds. So as I mentioned in my last video, I was going to be going to the Webster Flea Market, the huge flea market in Webster, Florida, which basically the only thing in town is a flea market and a gas station, and on Labor Day, because that's like the first big flea market of the year. They have them every Monday, but in the summer they're pretty small because it's hot. And speaking of hot, it was very hot on Labor Day here. So I got up very early, and at 6:30 a.m. I hit the road. And when I walked out the door, I was like hit with a wall of heat and humidity. I was prepared. I had my hat. I was lightly dressed. I had lots of fluids, water to stay hydrated. I've done a lot of these, so I know what to bring, but it was so hot and humid when I got there. I could only stay a couple of hours. It was awful. It was, there isn't a lot of shade. If you go to the outside vendors, there's very few trees, only a couple of trees. Some of the vendors have tarps, or the little tents covering their spot, their booth, but it was really, really, really hot. So I took a lot of breaks. I didn't bring a chair. I mean, when Jeffrey and I used to go, I mean, we had it down, and I still, have it down, but we always brought like a couple little folding chairs, these little small chairs, and I didn't bring any, and I should have, because I really needed to sit down because it was so hot. Anyway, when it got too hot, I covered a lot of the outside area, but it was really, really hot. So I started going. They have a huge section that's just covered. It's open, but it's covered. And they have electricity, so a lot of them, the vendors have fans going. So I went through a few of those, but it was still hot and packed. It was just crazy. It's not the busiest I've ever seen it, but I had to park quite a ways away. And there were so many people, and like me, I was pulling my wagon, my big wagon. I think next time I'm just going to take my small wagon because you don't want to carry everything. But there was people with the big scooters, little scooters. It was crazy. So I decided to leave early. I was only there a couple of hours. Usually I'm there 3 or 4 hours, trying to cover as much as I can. I did stop on the way out. They have a vendor that has a little trailer with food, and they actually sell smoothies and fresh fruit. So I got some fresh fruit. It's a huge cup of fruit for like $4, all cut up. I got watermelon and pineapple and oranges. And to me, watermelon is like the best thing for me when I'm overheated. When I used to have to go mow the lawn and stuff, I would have a bowl of watermelon when I came back in, and it really helped rehydrate me, and it was yummy. I think next time I go, I'm going to take Gatorade with me instead of a water and iced tea. But I still was really overheated, so I sat a few times and took a break because it was a long ways back to my car. So when I got back to my car, I opened it up, loaded it up, and I was really overheated. So I just turned the car on, turned the AC on, and just sat there and relaxed for a while, let myself cool down, drank some more water, ate some more of the fruit, which I wish would have been cold, but anyway, it helped. So anyway, after that, I came home, and it actually rained a few times while I was sitting there. It's Florida, so we get a lot of rain in the afternoons and stuff. So anyway, I didn't buy a lot of stuff. And so I actually got through the market, even though I was only there 2 hours. I got through it very quickly because I'm looking for specific things. I'm not digging in like Jeffrey and I would be there like for hours and hours, because we would be in there digging through just all this stuff. And I was looking for very specific items this time, things that I can take to retreats and sell, things that stitchers want that they're looking for. And I found some really cool stuff this time, even though I was only there for a little bit. So like I said, I just kind of walked down the middle, and there's booths on either side. It's in a big field, which is fairly flat, but it's also rough. And I was hauling this big wagon. Anyway, my arms were sore for a long time after that. So anyway, I stopped, like I said, when I found something interesting. And actually, mostly what I'm looking for is the little flower frogs, and I only found one. Some people wanted, as much or more than I sell them for, so I can't pay very much for them because I want to be able to sell them at a reasonable price. And I did find a couple. These are what I'm always looking for, these cute little milk glass. This is the smallest, one of the smallest, and this size flower frog actually fits inside there. And then what you can do is you can put scissors, pencils, whatever, whatever you want in there. Some people, I don't have a lot of flower frogs right now. I'm looking for more. But some people put a little, make a little pin cushion to fit in the center. Some make it so the pin cushion comes out and they can put their thread or it's little ends of their thread in there. But I did find just a couple of these. I asked her if she had more, and she said no, she had more, but they went quickly. So anyway, I'm also looking for salt cellars, which I put a little wool ball. I buy these little balls on Amazon, just big bags of them, and you can pick whatever color wool ball you want. Most of the salt cellars I find are like this. They're flat. But this time and last time, I found some of these cute little ones with legs, and these are really cute. It's got some little details on it. So I got a bag of these. They sell them like that sometimes. And then I got this. I thought this was really different. It's bigger. It would need like a bigger wool ball. I need to clean it, but I just thought that was kind of pretty, and it was reasonably priced. And if you put, I don't know, a couple of wool balls or made a pin cushion to put in it, I just thought that would be a really cute little to sit in front of you while you're stitching. And what people do with the wool balls is they usually glue them in place, or someone suggested like double-sided tape to hold the ball in place. And then as you're stitching, you can stick your needle in it or have pins just to use it as a little pin cushion. So that's usually what I'm looking for. And this time I found some things, some dishes that I'm always on the hunt for because they're hard to find. But this time I found several. So I'm really, really excited. So I want to show you this one. And this is along the same lines as the little white one, but this one has a lid. It has the same ruffled laced edge, so you can put your scissors in it, but this one has a lid. Now you probably could put a little pin cushion in the lid. There's other things you can do, but these are really popular too. Then I found when I was inside, these people were so nice. They could see how hot I was. Not just me, there was other people there that were like dying hot. And they have these big wood tables set up. They're old clunky wood tables, but one was empty. So I sat down on that. I asked her if I could sit there, and a couple other people did too. So I sat there and rested, and the woman turned the fan on me. So I thought that was really nice. That you can tell how hot I was because she felt bad for me and a couple other people that stopped. But anyway, they had a lot of glassware, and they had two of these wonderful, wonderful pots. This one's similar, but you can see it's more like an iridescent carnival glass. Isn't that beautiful? So, and it's, oh my goodness, I have to clean it out. I haven't cleaned anything out yet. It's got dust in it because they sit outside there. But anyway, it's the same thing. It's glass. You can put your scissors in the holes here, and they just hang. Oh, that one's not hanging correctly. Anyway, they just hang there, and then they stab you. They usually hang really straight. But it's got like grapes on it, but it's really pretty, like a carnival type iridescent glass. And they had this one, which is even more unusual. It's square or rectangle. I don't want to turn it, but it's the same basic idea, same color glass. And they had a lot of other bowls, but I only wanted ones like this. And he gave me a really good deal on them. So, because these are usually really expensive and I can't make any money on them. Usually if I buy them, you know, they're not worth it because they're too expensive. But these are gorgeous. So I was so excited because usually I'm lucky if I can find the little white ones. And I didn't see any more of those. Like I said, a lot of people, they ask way too much. They ask more than I sell them for. So I'm not going to, I don't want to jack up my prices too high because I like to sell them, but yet I need to like make some profit too. This is a business. So, but I found another bowl, and I don't usually carry bowls like this, but it is so gorgeous. Isn't this fabulous? And you could put large scissors and small scissors all around the edge, and then put a lot of smalls, pin cushions and things in there. Isn't that beautiful? And then the little scissors will hang right there, and then the little scissors will hang in the bigger hole too, but because there's the bigger holes, you could put pinking shears even in there, but I had to have it. So hopefully all that will sell at the next retreat I go to, which is in October it's right in the Tampa area. So so that one's nice because I can drive to it. But anyway, other than that, I didn't buy anything for me. I don't need anything. I have some stuff ready. But it was, even though I kind of got sick from the heat and didn't feel good. And actually I'd planned on coming home and making the video and showing everything, but I was just, because I hadn't slept well the night before, because I had to be up like at 5:30 in the morning. You never sleep well, even if you try and go to bed early, it doesn't matter. And I didn't feel well. So I I came home and changed out of my sweaty, icky clothes and cleaned up and took a nap. So that was that day, but it was still fun. I don't know if I'll go again when it's so hot. I kind of feel like maybe I'm getting old. Yeah, it really kind of hit me that day, but maybe I need a wagon that's lighter. That because it was when Jeffrey and I used to go, he always pulled the wagon, at first until it got to where he couldn't do that anymore. And he would rent, they actually have scooters you can rent, electric scooters. And maybe I'll do that next time. They're like $30, $35 for today. And that would have been, I would have gotten around easier. And I also saw a woman with, it was like a 3-wheel, kind of like a tricycle electric bike, not the 3-wheeled ones with the big wheels and the basket in the back where you have to pedal. This was electric, but she could actually stand up and drive around with this. It had a seat, but she could stand up and look. I'd have to hook a wagon to it. But anyway, maybe I need to do something like that. But anyway, it was still fun. I still had a good time other than being really hot. So I probably won't be going to that one again until November. In Mount Dora, they Renninger's antique market there. They have a huge antique mall, which is all air conditioned, which is wonderful. And then 3 times a year, November and January and February, they have a big, huge antique extravaganza, they call it. And it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I used to go for all 3 days. And then Jeffrey and I would go for all 3 days. And then we started going for just 2 days. And then toward the end, we would just go for Sunday. And because Sundays, you can get a lot of deals. People don't want to pack stuff up. You may have missed out on some stuff that was there before, but people don't want to pack stuff up. So they, on Sunday, you can get some good deals. And a lot of the vendors are also gone by Sunday. So, you just got to weigh it out. But we would go on Sunday and then spend the night there in Mount Dora. We had a little motel we stayed at. And then we would get up Monday morning and go to the Webster Flea Market. So, and walk around there and then go home. So I'm hoping to do that this year. I don't know. We'll see. But it's in the one in this year in November is like 16th, 17th, 18th, I think. And then the one in January is, I don't know if it's Martin Luther King Day, or in February is the same thing. It's President's Day and Martin Luther King Day, whatever. I don't remember which months those are in. But it's usually the weekend before that. And then that Monday of the Webster Flea Market is huge, 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 huge. And it's even bigger than it was on Labor Day because it's cooler, and it actually goes over across the street into another field. That's how huge it gets. So, and with Jeffrey, he had a handicap sticker so we could park in handicapped, and he would go get the scooter and off we would go. But I still usually then I was the one dragging the wagon around. But anyway, it's lots of fun, and I'm still, planning on going again. I just probably not when it's quite so hot. I'm hoping by November it cools down a little bit. Now, on to the most important part, stitch of the month. So for September, I found this cool stitch. It's called basket stitch. And this is what the diagram looks like. And of course, this, and then the updated stitch of the month sampler with the stitch added is available in the Stitch of the Month Facebook group. So you have to join the group, and I will upload these as PDFs to, oops, something going on here, something popped up on my screen. Anyway, but this will be available as a PDF to be able to download. So this is a fun stitch, and it gives a really nice texture. I did it in 2 shades of green, but you could do it on a basket shape in like 2 shades of gold, or you could do it in 3 different colors too. I did it in 2, but you could do it in like a couple shades of gold, but maybe brown, to give a real basket weave look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my PowerPoint, talk about the stitch real quick, and then I can demonstrate it for you. So hold on and let me get that going. Okay, so here I am. So the underneath where it says basket stitch, that's what it's going to look like on the actual chart on the pattern. So you can see how it's laid out, how it goes across the row. And you can see I've used the 2 shades of green, but if you look at the diagram, you can see it's actually broken up. It's not big, long lines. Now, if you were doing a smaller area, you probably could do the line all the way across. I did not do that. The horizontal lines, I did not do that. I broke it up into sections the same size as this diagram. You need to get a drink. Oops, all this talking. So this stitch is 8 threads high and 8 threads wide. Now that's linen fabric threads. So you're going to come up at A, but notice that A is 1 thread in to the right from the edge. It's not on the edge of the fabric. You can see it in the chart on the left there. But you're going to come up at A. You're going to count down 8 threads and go down at B. So there's your first stitch. So next you're going to come up at C, which is 2 threads to the right of A, and go down at D, which is 2 threads to the right of B. And then you're going to do E and F the same way. Now that's your whole stitch, the beginning bottom layer of your stitch. There's 4 vertical threads. Next, you're going to work the horizontal threads. So you're going to come up at I, which is 1 thread to the left of A. In other words, it's right on the edge, and 2 threads down from A. So you're going to come up at I, go all the way across all your vertical stitches, and then go 1 extra thread. Remember, it's 8 threads wide, and you're going to go down at J. So that's just a long horizontal stitch. Next, you're going to come up at K, which is 1 thread below I, and go down at L, which is 1 thread below J. Then you're going to do the bottom 2 horizontal threads. So you're going to come up at M, which is 2 threads. Note the spaces, 2 threads below K. And go across again, go down at N, come up at O, which is 1 thread down from M, and then go down at P, which is 1 thread down from N. And that's your first base stitch. So what I did is I completed all of them across the row. I used the pale green. I'm using sulky threads. You can use whatever colors, whatever type of threads you want. But I like to do a contrast in the colors. Like I did a light and a dark green. Like I said, you could work this in 3 colors if you want. I used 2. So you're going to work all of your stitches across the row, all of your light green, the base stitches across the row. Then you're going to thread up with your next color, which is the white numbered steps. And you're going to come up at 1. Now, 1 is in the middle. It's kind of in between A and C. You can see that. So you're going to come up, you're going to count 1 thread down from K, count in 2 threads, and come up at 1. Go over 3 threads, 3 fabric threads. You're going to go over the 2 horizontal stitches, and then go down at 2, which is 1 thread below where A and C started. And you're going to work 3 threads across. And that's why you have your spaces. That's why A, C, E, and G are worked 2 threads apart. So you have room to put these other stitches in between. So you're going to work your stitches across the top. And actually what I did is I worked all the way across the row. And note that there's going to be a space. If you look at the, there's a space in between the stitches. Now the gray stitches will touch. You can see on the chart on the left, they actually meet and touch in the holes, but you can see where the dark green lines, there's a space in between each stitch. So each stitch is kind of its own, and I'm going to demonstrate so you'll be able to see that. So what I did, like I said, I worked all the way across. I worked the first top verticals, and then I worked the bottom verticals back. You can do them each stitch one at a time, whichever works easiest for you. So I'm going to pause this again. I'm going to set up my camera and demonstrate the stitch for you, if I can get this to come up for me. Okay, here we are. So, oops, let me get my thread where it needs to be here. I'm going to be doing mine in 2 shades of blue. I'm hoping these colors show up enough. If not, I will change them. So here we are. So I'm going to be coming up. Where am I? Oh, I need to come down a little bit here. There. So I'm going to be coming up. This would be the edge of your fabric. So I'm 1 thread in from the edge. And I'm going to go down over 4 or 8 threads. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So that is AB. I guess that shows up pretty good. Now I'm going to come up 2 threads to the right of A. So that is step C, D. And then come up 2 threads to the right of C. This is E, F. And 2 threads to the right again, and that's G, H. And I will tell you, as you're working across the row, where's my sample? Make sure you count over 8 threads. I had to take mine out a couple times because I was not counting properly. So here you can see mine, and this pale green on this linen is kind of hard to see. So the first time, these 2 here, I stitched over 7 threads. So I had to pull everything back out again and then do them over 8 threads. And I still messed this one up and did it 7 threads high and had to pull it out again. So we all make mistakes. I can tell you that. Don't worry about mistakes. If you can fix them, fix them. If you can work around them, but that you can't because it won't fit right. So I'm going to do my horizontal stitches now. So I'm starting 1 thread to the left of A and 2 threads down. And I'm going to go straight across, and notice I'm going 1 thread out beyond. And then I'm going to do another stitch right below that one. And then I'm going to count down 2 threads and do another stitch right below that. So this is a pretty simple stitch. It's just kind of horizontal and vertical lines. So there's the first base layer. So now if you want, what you can do is go over here, and you're going to start 2 threads over from the previous stitch again. Do the same thing, work your 4 vertical stitches. Hopefully I won't run out of thread. There's my 4 vertical stitches. And note, it shares holes. I'm going to work the horizontal stitches. So this is fun. It gives a nice texture, and it's not difficult, other than making sure you count over 8 threads instead of 7, like some of us do. So that's just kind of hanging there because I don't have much thread left. So I'm going to thread up with I have a dark blue here. If I can get it to thread up right. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the small vertical stitches. So from the center here, I'm going to count in 2 threads, and I'm going to go over those 2 threads. Actually, you're going over 3 threads, but you're going over the 2 horizontal rows. So each stitch will have actually 6 of these short stitches, 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. So now what you can do, you can either go down and work these 3 across here, or you can move across, which is what I did. So what I remember I said you need to skip this row here and come over and just work across these stitches. So now I'm gonna, whoops, my thread's coming out here because I didn't end it. I'm gonna work my way across the bottom. So I'm just gonna work my way back, and I'm gonna come up here and just work my way back across the row. Yours will look better than this because my last thread is loose there. But it's kind of fun. This would make a fun, you could do the roof of a house, or like I said, a basket, even just a row across. It gives a really pretty effect, really textured. This is really huge, but when it's small, it looks a lot better. So there you are. There's 2 of them. You need to work as many as are diagrammed across the row. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across the row here. Let me focus this in. I'm trying to make it so you can see mine a little better. But it just gives a nice, nice texture to the stitch. So hold on and let me get out of here, and then I'll talk a little bit more. Okay, that's it. Short, a little short this time because it was so long last time. So anyway, that's it for FlossTube 65. I hope you enjoy the stitch. It was kind of fun. And as always, I say this a lot, but I really appreciate everybody who watches my videos and comments and shares. Tell your friends. I'd love to get some more subscribers. I'm at just over 800 right now, which is nice. I'm excited about that. So don't forget to share your photos of your Stitch of the Month sampler. I would love to see how you're working on yours, or where you're using the stitches if you're using them in a project you're working on. Just share a picture of it. I would love to see it. Let me know if there's any stitches you would like to learn. And any sewing items. Of course, a lot of mine are still packed away, and I've actually sold a few, so, which is kind of painful, but I can't keep everything and I don't have as much room. So as always, all the links are posted, and that's it for now. So I will see you on the 15th of September. Fingers crossed that, that I get my act together and get everything done. So thank you again, and I will see you in a couple of weeks.